So I do think that the lockdown has driven some antisocial behaviour, and we need to deal with it. And that's why we're backing the police in the way that we are. But I also want to see those who are guilty of antisocial behaviour properly paying their debt to society. And, you know, somebody's antisocial behaviour may be treated as a minor crime, but it can be deeply distressing for those who are victims. And if you're guilty of antisocial behaviour, I don't see, and you're sentenced to unpaid work, as many people are, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be out there in one of those fluorescent jacketed chain gangs, visibly paying your debt to society.
Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy Chris Shule, aka the Esoteric Noetic, aka the Chocolate Nubian Soul Brother from Ghana, West Africa, dropping the wisdomatic truth bombs here in Melbourne, Australia. You know you can rely on me because I'm True Blue. I'm staying with Dan. I'm on team meh. I'm a transvax side. It means I identify as having taken the boom shakalaka, and I always do as I'm told. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, click on the bell. Tell your friends, tell your mom, drop us some comments, let us know what it is. Oh, how about that video? Don't you love politicians, particularly politicians that become elected on the backs of the libertarian agenda? And then you find out, maybe this guy isn't so libertarian after all. And so much for the word libertarian, or so much for the word scientist, or so much for pretty much any of the words that actually had meaning in the 21st century. They've all been obfuscated. This is why I don't get caught up on labels. What do you call yourself? A man? A woman? A momo? An in-betweener? A libertarian or an anarchist? Or a bleeding heart social justice warrior? You find people will invert the meaning of these labels in order to suit their agenda. The fact that we have Boris Johnson advocating for people to be locked in their homes, violating people's individual rights, advocating for punishment for people that have antisocial behavior. But I suppose we have to look at what that even means. I mean, is he talking about people that break the law? Well, clearly he would have said that, right? No, he said antisocial behavior, meaning that if you do anything that is considered antisocial, perhaps not wanting to get the boom shakalaka, perhaps talking about things that the general society are not in favor of, that's considered antisocial. I mean, let's have a look at how antisocial is defined, perhaps. Hey Siri, define antisocial.
Contrary to the laws and customs of society, devoid of or antagonistic to social instincts or practices.
Okay, so contrary to the laws and customs of society. Well, that would be clear if it was in violation of the law. Then obviously he'd be saying, don't commit violent acts. However, when the laws are determined by the society and are not in respect for individual rights, as Thomas Jefferson said, what we're talking about here is right for liberty, not liberty defined by the law, because law often is wrong, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. And what we are seeing at the moment is society essentially try to bring about these laws, and it's not even the society, it's basically these leaders or rulers like Boris Johnson that are just making arbitrary laws that are not based off of the rights of the individual, and then saying that if you violate these laws or directives or ridiculous thought bubbles, well, mate, or well, look, mate, you're behaving antisocially, and we need to punish you. But this is essentially where we're moving into a world now where if you say the wrong thing, if you offend someone, you make someone distressful. I mean, this happened to me just recently. I accidentally sent a link to someone, and it wasn't some kind of inappropriate link with naughty images or something like that, where people are like, oh, why are you showing me images of black penises? That's intimidating. I find that incredibly distressing because it's showing me that I have a very small penis. No. I simply sent a link to someone where people were talking about essentially what was going on. The fact that perhaps the statistics in regards to the mortality rates that we are seeing are not on board, and perhaps there is an agenda to what is going on right now. And this guy reacted in such a violent, well, aggressive way, and was so offended by it. Rather than saying, look, oh, I don't buy that, it doesn't seem trustworthy. Basically, they lost their shit. Said that anyone that would even share such a link is an idiot, and I cannot respect the opinions of this. And simply just sharing information, like in regards to official statistics like theirs, I've noticed has people react in such a violent way because they cannot stand the truth. It offends them. Basically, we have one side of the community that is saying anyone that even believes in something that goes against the narrative is a complete and utter idiot. Conspiracy theorist, and they should be punished for antisocial behavior. And then, of course, we have another side of the community that is saying that anyone that would even buy into the mainstream narrative is a fool. Now, granted, the latter is not advocating for punishment for these momos, but the former is. The former is advocating for people like yours truly to perhaps to be locked up or to be punished purely because they believe in the concept of freedom. You see, the thing about me is I don't care which side is right. I mean, I know which side is right, but that's besides the point. Fundamentally, I don't care about the science. I don't adopt this priesthood mentality that the scientific community gets to decide whether or not you get to leave your home. I don't believe in this societal, scientific totalitarianism. I believe in freedom, unequivocally, freedom from aggression, as it was defined by Thomas Jefferson, rightful liberty. Liberty, not according to the law or the legalese system defined by these tyrants, but based off of individual rights. And when the law violates the individual rights, well, it is the law of tyrants. We are moving into a world right now where there are three sides. There are sides that believe the narrative. There are sides that don't believe the narrative. But then there is also the silent majority. The people that are sitting on the fence, the people that intuitively know what is wrong, but choose to say nothing because they're worried about what might happen to their livelihoods. Well, we are reaching a point where we need to wake up the silent majority. Because the silent majority, they're always thinking to themselves, what if? What if I speak out and I lose my job? What if I lose my friends? What if that girl that I'm dating thinks I'm crazy and won't put out? I've been in that situation before. I just tell him unequivocally, no, mate, I don't subscribe to your mainstream nonsense. If you want to force me to take a boom shakalaka, this ain't gonna work. But I think we should still, do the dance of the wild monkey. Oh! It's becoming more and more apparent what side you're on. And those that are trying to pretend that they're not on any side at all, the silent majority, are going to have to choose a side. But more importantly, they're going to have to ask themselves the right kind of what-if scenarios, right kind of questions. Not what if I lose my job. What if this stuff continues? What if we move into a world now where you simply cannot leave your country unless, of course, you offer your body to the state? We're already here. What if you can't leave your home? What if your very right to govern the course of your own destiny is completely destroyed? What if your children, what if your friends, your loved ones are essentially being forced to submit themselves to a tyrannical state that has become thirsty for control to the point where it has this insatiable lust for more and more power to control every aspect of your life because it cares about you, because it cares about your safety? What if the future is so bleak that your children and your children's children will not be able to leave the planet because of these kind of restrictions? I mean, can you imagine what the future is going to be like? 2050? Where now lockdowns, restrictions, utilitarian laws are a normality. People essentially can only breathe a certain amount of oxygen because they're putting people at risk. People can't leave planet Earth, travel to different solar systems where they're faster than light travel because they might be harming other planetary bodies. This is the kind of nonsense thinking you get into when you subscribe to this fear-based mentality, this devil's lore system that we are currently running. But ladies and gentlemen, to my silent majority, you really need to think about whether or not your silence is complicity in the tyranny that is unfolding. Because very, very soon, you are going to realize that even your silence has consequences. Whereas I understand that we all have our own lives, we all have goals and objectives, and I'm not one of these people that is going to tell you that you are somehow being a bad person because you're focusing on yourself. We all have to live our lives for ourselves, and whereas I believe that there is a social responsibility on some level to try to make a change to the positive, I, for one, cannot force you to make those changes. You have to do what is within your heart. Try to uplift the vibration of the planet, but only to the capacity that you are able to. But make no mistake about it, more and more every single day we are seeing the consequences of our inactions. And unless, of course, you want to be living in a world, or you want your children living in a world where freedom has become a remnant of a lost society, then I would invite you to speak up. Speak up even if your voice shakes. Stand for peace, for justice. And sometimes standing for peace means being strong, resisting tyranny. Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, be sure to share this video if you liked it. Like, tell your mom, tell your friends. If you want to support us, check the links below. Check us out on Telegram. That's the best place to go to if you want to keep up to date with my posts. And subscribe to the main channel. I won't be able to post on that for at least another week and a half because I'm in the naughty corner. But I will be back. I'll be back. Oh, Surya Namaskara. Namaste. Peace be upon your butt cheeks. Illuminate your minds with wisdom. Strengthen your will with love. And remember that more and more people are waking up to the truth every single day. The sleeping, silent majority giant is awakening. And when that happens, oh, New World Order, you better watch out. You better watch out. Until next time, signing out, Chris Jewell. Ow!
What is liberty?
What the? Who says you can't build muscle on a vegan diet?
What's it like being a hottie in the vegan community?
There are no political solutions, only technological ones.
The economics of the system don't allow multiple competing systems to survive.
Engineering, technology, these arts of humanity, they are magic.